Hello, Scorpio. This is Summer from Tarot by Summer. Thank you for stopping by YouTube channel for your general reading for the month of July. I also want to thank you for giving me your support, showing me some love on page and in my personal messages that I received from you. Thank you for the subscriptions, thumbs up. Thank you for sharing videos. And thank you so much for booking your personal readings with me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your trust and belief that I can deliver, belief that I can help you. Thank you also for your kind words that I received from you guys. You guys showed me lots of love and I appreciate you. It was the first month of me actually posting readings on YouTube, so um I'm happy. I'm excited. You guys really made me feel good. I appreciate you. Anyway, I want to go ahead and get started with your reading because I think your reading is going to come out good. I prayed and meditated over the decks, over your reading, and I must say, I can't wait to get into this and finish it up because the energy feels good. It feels really good. I don't know. I want to see where it goes. As I was meditating, I saw a man and a woman. I kid you not. And Scorpio, this is your element, water. You represent the water sign. Water represents your sign, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. So, ironically enough, there was a couple down by the ocean. They were at the beach at night under the moonlight, and they were naked. They were naked, and it was, I guess, hot outside. It looked like it was warm, like it might have been summertime, but there was nobody else around, and it had to be past midnight or something because the moon was really, really big and bright, and they're in the water, just bathing each other, cleansing each other's body with the salt water. And he's running his fingers through her hair, and she's rubbing his head, and they're just cleansing each other all over. And there wasn't any sex or anything involved. Some of you might be a little disappointed about that, but get your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, it was just, it was beautiful. It was cleansing. It was romantic. It was very, very sensual and deep. And, oh goodness, I could feel like skin was just, I felt good. I felt tingly while I was in this meditation. It felt really good because, salt is cleansing. Salt water is very cleansing. And, they were embracing each other. It wasn't sexual though. I don't know. What does this mean to you, Scorpios? Please. I'm a little bit nosy. I want to know. I want to know what's going on. So if this means something to you, if this is something you've done or it resonates with you somehow, please send me a message. Write it on the video for the page, or send me a private message or whatever. But I'm curious, and I hope that, it turns into something good. We'll see which way it goes. But I saw that and heard the word cleansing as well. So let's see, Scorpios. Let's get right into it. At the bottom of the deck, I normally read from the bottom of the deck. Sometimes I go straight into the reading and then come back to it. It all depends, on the situation and what, how spirit is leading me. But typically I'll pick from the bottom of the deck first and read it because it tells me a few things. It gives me like a main idea of what's going on in the reading and what the overall energy is going to be for the reading. It also tells me what may have happened to you in your past, or circumstances that you may have dealt with in your past that you want to remain hidden, or you've gotten over, or whatever the case. And it can also mean what's in your subconscious, what you're not ready to show the world, what you're trying to deal with or whatever. But that is why I do it, and that is what I discover under the bottom. Okay, at the very bottom, the last card is the Magician in the upright position. The Magician is just that. It is someone who's able to manifest their reality. They're able to manifest whatever it is they want in their life, and they have the support of all of the elements. They have all of the tools that they need to make it happen. They've got air, they've got water, they've got fire, and they have earth. And if you can see it, all of these elements are inside of this card. This magician also has the sign of the infinity over his head, which represents, it symbolizes power, mastery of something, like power, strength. And I'm just gonna go a few cards down. Let's see here. Let's see. You've got the Seven of Wands, the Emperor, the Five of Cups, and the Magician. Okay, this is what you got at the bottom. This is where I'm going to stop right here. The Seven of Wands is about, it is air, it is fire energy from Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. You could have some fire in your chart as well. It represents standing your ground in a battle. It represents beating competition, letting people know where you stand, and you refuse to lose. You refuse to be, you refuse to let anybody take anything from you or do anything they want to you. So that's what this means. Standing your ground in the, the battle. You've made it to the top, and that is where you're going to stay. And then, of course, you have the Emperor. You have the sign of the Aries right next to it. This is an older man as well, someone who's a leader, someone who's wise, someone who's a strong father figure. He could be a teacher. He could be a boss. It just depends on the situation in your life and what this means to you. You could have Aries in your chart. This could be your husband, your lover, your significant other, however he presents himself in your life is what it'll probably mean to you. For some of you, you have been battling to stand your ground in a relationship in the past, and because the Five of Cups is right next to it, maybe it failed. A relationship failed for some of you, and you had to reinvent yourself. You have gotten a divorce and somebody lost something, and you had to reinvent yourself and start all over again. Create the reality that you wanted, the new reality. Very, very, very powerful card. These are, you've got two major arcana cards here under the bottom of the deck, the Emperor and the Magician. Excuse me, I'm sitting on the floor trying to get comfortable. For some of you, you've had some issues in the past with a father, your father figure, or a boss, and you had to battle. Maybe you had to battle him at work, him or her, but it's usually a man. Stand your ground. And somebody lost, either you or the other person. And a new start took place because someone stepped into their power. Someone finally realized that they have the power to create the kind of life they want, the situations that they want. Someone realized that they're co-creators in this universe and took charge, started creating. Some of you, this was a battle to step into your own power and stand your ground. A battle with something internal that's going on with you, that was going on with you, or maybe still is, because the Four of Cups is here too. Because you actually have The numbers going down in reverse. No, wait. You got no. This is a four. This is a five. Seven. You had to. You had to. Maybe you had to battle something. Something. And become your own leader. Become the leader that you were looking for. Maybe for some of you, your father figure wasn't there in your life, and you battled with that reality because over here you're hurting. Maybe this, for some of you, your father was absent. You battled and struggled with this fact, with knowing that he was absent, or he left, or he could have passed away too. So you're in mourning. But whatever the case, this man is no longer here. This dominant male energy, this strong leadership energy, is no longer with you. Whether he passed away or he left, but you can play this out however however this resonates in your life will be, what it is, because this is a general reading. I'm not talking to you one on one, so I wouldn't really know who's who. But the outcome of this situation that's buried underneath is still the magician, and you coming to terms, you realizing at some point that you have the power of magic. You can create your own magic, and it not have to be an illusion of what it is you want. You can create the life you want. You can create the future that you want, because now we're coming up to here. What's going on in your near past. You have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is about, in the upright position, it is about someone losing sleep because they're depressed, they're worrying, they've maybe they suffered some sort of loss, or perceived loss of some kind, and they're battling. They're battling inside their mind. They're having nightmares. At the bottom of this deck, at the bottom of this card, there are literally like little things, looks like little monsters or something under the bed, fighting, and they're like hidden. They're not like in an obvious position, and they're actually at the underneath the pillow where this man was sleeping. So that means nightmares to me. That means bad dreams. I'm just gonna move this over a little bit more so you can see. He woke up from a bad dream from this stuff that's going on inside his head. But you were worrying, Scorpio. You were worrying. You were worrying over something hurting. Okay, now that you can get past this. You can and you will. You're the magician. You have the power. You can create your magic. You can reinvent yourself. You can go down deep the way that Scorpios do, go deep inside to levels that no one else understands. Mysterious. You guys are mysterious, but in a cool way. In the center, this is you. You have judgment. Judgment is about, this is Archangel Gabriel at the top. And judgment is about, for me, it's like two things. It's about someone who is sitting back and evaluating their past, or all of the things that's going on in their life in the present, or just sitting back and evaluating, period. But it's usually about the past and all of the events that led up to the here and now, or to specific circumstances, and making a judgment call, making a final decision, a final call on this decision, so you can move forward with you can go forward with the next steps. To me, this is also about The judgment from above, the judgment from spirit, the judgment from heaven, the judgment from the universe, however you want to see it, whatever your faith is, or your spiritual belief system is, you know, a final calling is coming because you've possibly gone through some things in the past and you're getting divine intervention through help from source or through help from the angels or through help from, you know, spirit to step in and say, okay, now is the time. You know, we're here. You've been praying on us. You've been, you know, you've been praying for us. You've been crying. You feel like the situation you're in is something you can't do alone. We're answering it. We're answering your prayer. This is the final call. This is the call. This is us coming in to call you and help you with this situation. Because you got some people here on the bottom, they're lifting their arms up in the air to the angel, to Gabriel. Looks like Gabriel anyway. I believe it's Gabriel if I'm not mistaken. But they're opening their arms, they're ready to receive. They're ready to receive this help from above. And in the upright position, the judgment is in your favor, whichever it is, whether you're doing the judging of your situation or you're getting help from divine source, from the divine, you know. And what crosses judgment in the upright position is the page of wands in the upright position. The page of wands is fire energy. That's your Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. The page of wands can either help you or hinder you. In this situation, I think it can definitely help you. You know, just add additional aid to a really positive card that's already positive, because the judgment is a major arcana. That's something big happening. And the page in this instance is, you know, more so supportive, and it tells a little bit about what the judgment is about. The page of wands is like the inspiration after you've been given an opportunity to start a new project, something creative. I know that there was a lot of creativity going on in your reading for the month of June. And I think this is kind of picking up where it left off. I have to go back and watch to make sure, but this is what I'm feeling. There's like a continuation. So this page of wands is the inspiration after that offer comes in. You say, you know, okay, I got the offer. I got the offer of the wands for a new creative project or a new endeavor, something entrepreneurial having to do with work or your career, or love, whatever it is you want to start in your life, whatever it is you want to create. Because you got the magician here, then you have the page of wands here over judgment. You know, a decision has to be made, or, you know, final decision about which way it's going to go. And this page is waiting to take it to a new level. It's there, you know, you're just trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do with it now that I have it? Which way do I go? We got it. We're going to do this. And you're coming in with the energy of a young person. This could also be a child for some of you. You could have the support of your child with you, you know, or your children. This page of wands could hinder you if you don't do anything with this offer, with this chance to start something, to create something. Although you've gotten the answer's here, you're getting the answer, you're in the process of getting the answer, or you've already gotten it, and now it's time to move forward. But you don't do anything, you don't take this chance. So that is what I'm picking up for some of you. For some of you, this is an offer of love coming in. Something with someone passionate, probably maybe younger than you. Someone who makes you feel like a young man or a young woman again. Someone that sparks your creativity and imagination, you know. That could definitely be helpful, because under that you've got the Ace of Cups and your foundation. What's going on, what's tangible in your life, what's real, what's really going on, what's happening now, what you're building upon. The Ace of Cups, the offer of love coming in. That love could be coming in from a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, another Scorpio like you. This represents you, represents Scorpio, the cups, emotions. Look at this water spilling all out over the cup. Your cup runneth over, and you're being offered this cup from the heavens, from spirit or person. For some of you, you've got to decide, you've got to make a judgment call after evaluating everything and not just deciding on which opportunity you take. This could be, new love coming in from different directions. Fire sign or water sign, and you've got to make a judgment call. For some of you, this is, again, your child, and you're having another one. Another child could be coming in for some of you. For some of you, you could have been trying to get pregnant, and you got some help from above in this situation. Because what is above you is the sun. This is in your spirit, this is in your mind, this is above you, this is coming straight through from source down through the crown chakra, the top of your head. Source and mental energy. The sun. That's definitely like a Leo card. It could also be, of the other fire signs too, but, Leo is ruled by the sun. You could have a Leo on your mind. Someone, that person could be somebody, you love a Leo. Leo could be making an offer, and you've got to make a judgment call because you got another offer coming in. That's some of you. And the reason I keep talking about love is because you have a lot of love in your your spread, in your reading. You started off with love and healing down by the ocean, at the beach with your partner in the water, naked, cleansing each other, washing each other's body and hair, very sensual stuff. And lo and behold, that's what the spread came out to be. Some of you could be pregnant and having a baby, or you're thinking about it. Maybe you're talking about it with your mate, your spouse, your significant other, and you have a baby on the mind. Nevertheless, this is beautiful. Whatever is happening, this is, it's beautiful. It looks really, really good. Baby coming in on the horse under the sun. Some of you are expanding your family or wanting that, desiring that family. You really want it. And if you are having some issues with fertility, because judgment is between the two cups and the sun, you may be able to get some help. Definitely see somebody who can help you. Maybe get some natural care for your body or something like that, or seek alternative medicine. Definitely something healing. Or go to the doctor, period, if that's what, if this is, and I'm not saying that something is, you're having fertility issues or whatever, but, if you want to have a baby, you want to, or expand your family to have more children, then get proactive about that. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Be a part of that process and not just pray about it or not just meditate on it. Because in the near future, in the month of July, you have the Two of Cups. Two people who see eye to eye. This is your energy again. Scorpio, you're exuding, love and the desire for that. You are putting that out there in the universe, and this is what I'm seeing. This is what's, happening. This is your intention. You set your intention, and it shows up over here. This Two of Cups is like a soulmate union between two people who can partner up and complement each other. It doesn't always have to be like lovers or a couple situation. It could be the partnership of really good friends. It could be the partnership of someone you work with, you collaborate with at work. But the theme, the story in this reading shows me love. It doesn't show me anything about work. So, I'm gonna keep this in context. You've got some love coming. Either you know who this is, or is somebody coming. There might be a proposal for marriage. You've got the Page of Wands crossing judgment, somebody needing to make a decision, either you or your partner, making a judgment call. And then someone could be making an offer after the judgment call. And then, of course, there's two people joined together here, holding two cups, and they're looking into each other's eyes. And then, of course, there's an Ace of Cups here, which confirms this. So, Scorpio, this is looking pretty good. If that's what you're projecting and that's the intent you're putting out, it really is. It really is coming out, and you got the Hierophant. I didn't even get a chance to see what card this was going to say, but this just popped out before I got a chance to answer a question, but I'm gonna put it right here over the Two of Cups. This looks like this is where it belongs. Some of you may be getting married, or maybe getting ready to talk about marriage, because the Page of Wands is talkative. The Page of Wands is a child, very chatty, talkative, creative. So you'll be talking to your mate about marriage. The Hierophant in the upright position. There'll be, a proposal coming. What is the Ten of Swords in the past about? Why is the Ten of Swords here? I'm sorry, the Nine of Swords. Why is the Nine of Swords here? Scorpio, are you afraid that what you manifested and the intentions you put out, are you afraid that all of this is either unreal or it won't come into fruition? This just hit me. Are you afraid that you don't believe your own magic? You don't believe it because you've been hurt in the past. Maybe you've been abandoned. You've had some struggles in the past. Maybe you have some father issues. Some of you women be having some father issues that aren't addressed, that haven't been resolved. So instead of dealing with them, you became the magician and reinvented yourself and just dealt with you instead of dealing with the issues from the past. So this is why you're crying. This is something you really want. This is something you want. But you're afraid that it's not real, that it would never happen to you. Why is the Nine of Swords here? Why is the Nine of Swords here? Why is the Nine of Swords here? Justice in reverse. Some of you didn't get the judge. Scorpio, you didn't get the justice that you saw, that you wanted in the past, and there was something unjust happened, or you didn't receive the justice that you sought in the past. What happened to you, Scorpio? What do you need healing from? Did you lose a child in the past, Scorpio? Is that it? And you want to get pregnant again, you want to have another child, or you want to have more children, and this is why you're crying, you're afraid. This energy still lingers. Maybe you had to get rid of a child in the past, which is why, unjustly, maybe it was unjustified. You had unjustified reasons, and there's some guilt feelings, some hurt feelings behind that. Because this Empress is right next to the Justice in reverse, and the Empress is pregnant, but she's in reverse. So maybe maybe she lost it, or maybe she had to abort, or maybe there was some fertility issues in the past. And of course, since she's so creative and fertile in the upright position, she's not as creative and fertile in the reverse position. Although you try to use, your inner magic to create this. Maybe it didn't work in the past, and that's why you're crying, because you set out your intentions to do this and it didn't come to fruition. So you are afraid that none of this will happen. And here you are, the Seven of Wands again in the upright position. You having to stand your ground with something. You had to stand your ground against something that happened, a decision you had to make, or, a belief that you had, or whatever the case. Or someone was upset and they stood their ground with you about this situation, whatever the case. Spirit, can you tell me a little bit more about the Nine of Swords and what happened with Scorpio in the past? What's going on with Scorpio? Why is Scorpio so sad and apprehensive about the future moving forward? What can you tell us? What do we need to know, Spirit? It's definitely about family and building, because you got the tree. It's health related. Maybe you had to defend something you did, something that happened, This is getting really personal. Yup, there you go. You had to defend something. You stood your ground. Leo came out. I'm going to stop right here because this is getting really, really personal. And then there's like the two birds are underneath the bottom, communication. Just, yeah, let's stop. Because this is so, so personal. I don't want anybody to cry at what I'm seeing and feel like saying. Yeah, something happened with communication. Something happened between two people, you know? Scorpio, this is your past. You know, whatever it is that happened to you, or whatever decision you had to make and stand your ground on, but it left you with nightmares. You can get over this, Scorpio. You can heal from that. There's love coming in your life, there's some support coming, okay? There is some love coming, possible marriage, there is support coming. It could, there could be the talks of marriage here. You and your partner discussing marriage right here in the middle in July, or maybe, the cups are summertime, spring, summer, you know, definitely. You guys could be talking about this. You got, you're gonna get some support, whatever this is. You're going to get some support, and there will be healing. There will be cleansing, because there was definitely some sort of battle where you had to stand your ground against something that happened. But you can work this out. You can work through this. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to feel alone. You don't have to wallow in your bed late at night by yourself, crying about the situation over and over and over again, having insomnia. You did the right thing. This has something to do with family. The trees here, family and health and healing. You stood your ground with it. You protected yourself. You stepped into your sister Leo energy over here. The lion, the birds. Maybe after that came some talks. And if it hasn't, if you need to go into the past and talk to someone, family members, about whatever this situation is, whatever this loss was, then please talk to somebody in your family, talk to your family members or your maid or whatever the case is. If you need to go back and resolve some issues with your father or about your father that you have left, then maybe you need to confront him or the man in your past, whoever this represents, this older man with a pretty white beard. And if you're not able, because this reading is so darn personal, if you're not able to talk to this man and confront him for whatever the circumstances are, some of you, this will touch you in different ways. But for whatever this reason, if you're not able to go and have this conversation like the birds with this man, with this emperor, then maybe talk to a counselor, someone who can help you, or talk to spirit. Get this matter resolved so you can cleanse like you did in the ocean. You can get some healing going on. But you want to break up this energy. You don't want to bring this energy further over into your future. You don't want to do that because you don't want to mess up. You don't want it to bring this baggage or energy over into this. Your relationship, your commitment, the possibility of marriage coming. See? No, this is upright. There you go. See? I'm going to move over into the additional part of your reading. Okay, here we go. We're going to sprinkle a little love onto your reading. Spirit, what messages do you have? No, let me start with the spirit first, and then we're going to sprinkle a little love onto your reading. Good? This is up. Okay, here we go. Spirit, what messages do you have for Scorpio for the month of July? What messages do you have for Scorpio for the month of July? What messages do you have for Scorpio for the month of July? What messages do you have for Scorpio for the month of July? What messages do you have for Scorpio for the month of July? Spirit, give me 2 cards. Give me 1 or 2 cards. Show me what messages you have. This one. Receive. One more, Spirit. Seek. You've got receive. You are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others. But now is the time for you to learn how to graciously receive. Just as with the ebb and flow of the tides, the art of giving and receiving is the natural law and order of the universe. Seek. The power of spirit exists in all things. Everything is made of energy, and every single thing in your physical world contains to a fragment of spirit, including you, Scorpio. We are all one with spirit and always will be connected to one another. Receive what is coming to you. Definitely get some healing so that you can be in a better position to receive what is coming to you, what is due to you, what you see coming, what we just talked about. As I was saying, seek the help that you need, maybe from spirit or someone who can help you, someone you can talk to, someone who can help you. But definitely turn to spirit if that is something that you do. If you pray, if you meditate, tap into source energy, go into your higher self and start healing from the inside out, but seek it. Because some of you are, you're in pain. The pain is not incredibly obvious in your reading because your reading was filled with so much love and stuff, but there was something under the surface, and I hope I did a pretty good job of bringing it out. Something that was hidden, because everything that I did for the 9 of Swords card matched what was beneath. So you want to get some help for that. And I've sprinkled a little love onto your reading with spirit here. You've got dreams coming true. This is cup energy. Dreams coming true, the 9. And you've got refusing to see under seek. Receive. Your dreams are coming true. You need to start healing, get this healing process really going. Even if you feel like you're healed already, you still want to. There's some residue of energy that's not good. And this isn't in the near past. This isn't even in the far past. The far past is kind of playing up to the near past and where you are now. So you want to clear that up. Get rid of that residue. Clean yourself by the ocean, like in the vision that I had. Because you have your dreams coming true. Something is coming in for you. Whatever it is you're dreaming about. It looks, marriage or, children, a baby, whatever the case, it's coming. But you want to be healthy enough so that it comes through and you're not blocking it with receptive energy. I mean, repelling energy. Recepting is being receptive is to open to open to something coming in, and repelling it is like pushing it away. That's what I meant. You don't want to, you don't want to block it with repelling energy. This is coming up to you. Look at this. These one card was directly on top. This is coming straight up to you. Can you see it? Dreams coming straight up the middle. And then there's a gift. There's another hand coming up. You see that? Look at that. Two hands here, and then another hand with the gift there. But you want to be receptive to that. You don't want to repel it. So that's why some healing takes place, additional healing. Seek, because you refuse to see the truth. You refuse to, somewhere along the line, it could be in the past, it could be, where you are now in your life. There was something you didn't want to see. You had your guard up. Although it was obvious. Your eyes are closed, but your third eye is open. And there's light coming down from source energy from the heavens. But you refuse to see the truth. This is, the truth is the light. You refuse to see the truth. So this is telling you to go inside and seek, or to turn to source to give you the support that you need so that you can see the truth and you can see your way out of whatever it is, the situation with the Knight of Swords. I mean, the Nine of Swords. This is sword energy. Don't turn a blind eye anymore to the past. This is what it's telling you. This is what Spirit is saying. Don't turn a blind eye anymore and just kind of tuck it away underneath the bottom of the deck. Push it under the bed. Don't do that anymore, Scorpio. Open your eyes. Open all three of them, because the third eye, the intuition, is wide open. But your other two eyes are closed. Just the eyes to the physical world. You want to open those. See things for what they are. Deal with them. Conquer them. And get you some help. Get help from Spirit. I know some of you don't want to dig up stuff from the past, and you want to leave the past behind, but I think that it's relevant in this situation. You feel like you've buried those things, you don't want to deal with them, you've moved on, but there's still residue there, and you don't want to bring that into your future situation, your marriage that could be coming up, or your partnership, the beginnings of something really good. You don't want to mess it up. Somebody's got some love going on, Scorpio, in the month of July, and possibly moving forward. So that's great news. Moving forward. Okay, Scorpio, I love you guys. Thanks again for your support. Thanks again for ordering your readings from me. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Sending you plenty of love and light, and wishing you all the romance that you want. Wishing for you what you wish for yourself. Okay? Take care, Scorpio. I hope you enjoy this video. Please give me the thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Talk with you soon. Bye-bye.